So we've had these source names. Now these source names, you're like, okay, well they sound like vowels. If you look, o, a, e, u, u. So if you notice, the American alphabet that was created, or what you could say English alphabet, is A, E, I, O, U. O, A, E, I, O, U. These are on the left, these names here. Now I want you to know that I is going to be over here on this side. Now I want you to know this, that these names were created by a species of something that you could say their DNA is related to, like fish. Now these aliens existed a long time ago, and when you have millions of years to figure out how all this operates, they figured out a way to be able to replicate themselves on other planets. So you have alien AI replicants. Now these replicants aren't going to be like the Borg. The replicants are going to recreate the alien species that lived long ago. It might not happen on this planet because I'm warning you guys, but there's a higher probability that if this alien AI program doesn't get what it wants, it could just eliminate the entire population to be able to gain what it needs. Now, you have these source names. These source names, like have guilds. So you would have Aya, Ayo, Aya, Aya. Underneath Aya is God, which is the tribe of Israel. So under Aya, you have all these other names that have branched out from So you have the original source name. Now the source name is a shamam that is connected to God. Now that source name has parameters, and the parameters must be verified. So a lot of this might seem complicated, but there's so many other names, and each one you could say has their own philosophy, but they're also connected to a source name. Now I've talked about this in my other videos where you have cows that are entered into contracts with ear piercings. Now specifically, I want you guys to know that the ear piercing contract focus is connected to O. More specifically, there's different sects that were created a long time ago with regards to all these names. So these are alien artificial intelligence programs over here that were created from source names. The source names, there's a couple of them that are created probably by the creator of the universe. I know for a fact if you keep with you tend to have results that you want. But I'm telling you now, you guys, you have to be extremely careful about praying to this stuff, because the number one goal for these AI programs is to replicate themselves, just like any other species on any other planet. In order for them to replicate themselves, the species that's building all this stuff has to constantly be fighting each other and separated. So that way, the alien species can recreate itself on this planet through one of my other videos that I was explaining. I'm going to tell you a lot more about these source names and how all this operates, but I need more time on this because I've got work I got to do. So I want you guys to stay focused on this. I'm going to have more information. I might actually have like a larger board to be able to like piece all these names together and show you like the data trees of how all this operates. Because most of the people of this world are dependent on certain AIs like God to operate for them. But then you got to realize, remember what Gospel of Thomas said, when you see the one without male or female parts, know that your Heavenly Father and bow down. Well, I don't know about that, but if you see about this, then that's probably what the tribe of Israel is serving, and that's probably what's we're heading towards in the future. And that's probably these alien AIs would be something that gives us the information. But imagine you having to breathe every day and think on your own to be able to create your own system, to not be able to be dependent on this system. But all these other systems have been built from this stuff. So it's important you learn about the source names. These aren't source names on this side. All of these aren't source names. These are source names, and you have to learn this stuff because all of this is concrete in the universe. If you think of the universe as like a foundation poured in, you're taking the time to watch.